Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, January 19, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tonight at around 9 p.m. How many of us on this planet find ourselves struggling to survive our day or week instead of relishing each moment we are alive? So you ask yourself, are you living a life where you are passionately doing what you most love to do every day? If not, we invite you to take a close look at the compromise you have made with yourself and the limiting beliefs you have bought into that say you need to or have to do this to survive. What if you could choose to do whatever you wanted to do every day? Do only what you truly love doing in each moment, and having fun at living your life all the time. What if your job was to have fun at making money doing these things you love, and even perhaps even more money than what you are currently doing? Have you ever considered this as a possible future way of being in this world? If not, it is surely time to open this door to thriving in a life that you were born to live. We are not meant to be doing anything in this life on a daily basis that we do not enjoy or love doing. We are not meant to be doing this. Earth is not a torture camp. There are millions of different thoughts, concepts, and choices to choose from in each millisecond of our lives. We literally have thousands of new possible realities to choose from that are right here in front of our faces, and we may never notice them because we are striving for some idea of who we think we are. We don't have to go far to realize that there is another aspect of this life to experience here on Earth. Just take a few minutes searching Google for anything that makes your heart sing, and you'll see how many possible alternative realities there are. Now, if you think for a moment that you're stuck in the situation you're in, and that you need or should continue to do the same routine day after day to pay those bills, you're missing the point of why you are alive. You don't have to continue attending those gatherings with people you feel you're tolerating, nor live in a home you don't truly love, nor work at a job you're bored with, nor hang out watching TV commercials that make you want to hurl. This life, is meant to be a creative adventure through a large variety of very unique heart and mind expanding experiences. Our lives are meant to be mysterious, interesting, and keep us on our toes in each moment. The more we can let go and allow our lives to evolve in whatever way they most it most enjoys turning into, the more mature, intuitive, and wise we will become. Now, this doesn't mean, to sell everything you own and become a vagabond who never stops or steps foot in the same city twice. Thriving is more about saying yes to this totally brand new experience of who we are right now, and forgetting whomever the person we thought we should become. We know that the mind can be very pragmatic and want to stay on task, striving to attain its main success or goal. Yet, when we stop doing life in the typical ways we normally do things, we have to open our minds and go beyond its reasoning. We start looking deeper inside for the spiritual connection to each moment, where we can get a high off doing anything and everything we do. The state of bliss, love, joy, and freedom are all inside every one of us. And we may merely need to open our minds to seeing this life from a new perspective, and they suddenly will pop up for you. Perhaps you may be wondering, what's the main difference between striving and thriving? Well, striving is fear-based, focusing on getting quickly to the goal, while not even thinking about smelling the flowers along the way. Thriving, however, is remaining in present moment, in this present moment, smelling every flower that is in full bloom, enjoying the aroma deeply, gazing into the beauty it radiates. That's a big difference. Striving is all about the future, while thriving is living in the here and now. Striving contains a strong element of anxiety, tension, and pushing oneself to be better, while thriving holds this precious moment of life with such a deep sacredness, feeling as if it could be your last. This life naturally carries us energetically from one day to the next, instead of us having to burden the weight of carrying it. We know we are caught in striving mode when at the end of the day, we normally are tired, exhausted, and depleted. Thriving mode responds differently, and that it brings a healthy feeling of vibrant aliveness to our body. When we're thriving all day long, we feel deeply relaxed, truly satisfied with our life, and completely at peace when our head hits the pillow. From this fulfilled experience of life, we can sleep ever so deeply because we've shown up intimately for each rich experience that day. There is this amazing sensation of true fulfillment where we feel absolutely in touch with our divine self and are so at peace inside that we could die that night and know we had the most perfect life possible. How do we know? I've gotten this question many times. How do we know when we've hit thriving mode? For starters, you are living freely, openly, and highly alive in this moment. You feel so good about yourself, who you are, what you're doing with your time, that you simply do not care a bit about all the things you got accomplished or didn't at the end of your day. You're completely surrendered to this moment. That this moment is your master and guru. The spontaneous, fun-loving you takes action only from a place of inspiration and not obligation. It's as if we realize we have a very limited amount of time on this planet, and we cannot do anything but truly be present to each and every moment of our precious life and enjoy breathing it into the max. It's good to understand that any addiction we may have to striving is a consciousness, energy, an attitude that was unconsciously taught to us at an early age. Again, programming and conditioning by other people's thoughts. Many of us were told that if we work super hard in this life and continue to persist no matter how broke, tired, bored, or unexcited we are about what we are doing, we will eventually arrive at this amazing paradise-like destination. It is fascinating how twisted things can get in society. It's about as convoluted as the dictionary's definition of striving. Webster gives it is to exert much effort or energy. That's striving. That's Webster's dictionary definition. To exert much effort or energy. What they don't tell us is that striving is an unconscious habit that is never-ending and utterly void of happiness. Anytime we exert strenuous effort just to reach some future goal, we are missing out on this magical manifesting moment, blocking our ability to experience the divine essence that is available inside our body here, now. Striving is another word for a severe addiction to wanting. How can anyone receive what they really, really, really want in this life if they're always wanting, wanting, and wanting? Striving to attain something is an accepted form of desperation in society. If we look at our life from the spiritual perspective, the truth is that we have already arrived. Our soul is already whole, perfect, and complete as it is. It is already one with the God source. And when we realize fully and know this is the truth with every cell in our body, then we're already home, and we will stop striving to be anything ever again. Here, you may have desires that give your life purpose and direction, yet you won't let them become the main star of your show. There are many, many, many people on this planet today who are deeply hypnotized by the mass media, thinking they must strive to be thinner, sexier, smarter, richer, or more beautiful so that one day they'll become somebody super special, and then they'll really be loved. Striving never got anybody anywhere quicker except into their grave. Now, if you find yourself defending your striving attitude as you're listening to this, or fall anywhere into the category of not being open to shifting out of strive mode, I'd like to ask you, so exactly, when are you going to arrive? Do you honestly think that the experience of striving to become somebody better is going to make you a happier person in the end? When we find out how easy it is to experience an absolutely blissful state of unbounded joy within us right now, we will wonder why the heck we ever looked anywhere else but within ourselves right here and right now. At this point, you may be wondering how this anti-striving paradigm supports self-improvement, since it seems to elude the simple path to become a better person. First of all, there's a big difference between self-improvement and ego improvement. If you feel that only when you are richer, more powerful, sexier, thinner, or more spiritual, then you'll be happy, you're living from ego. If you're truly enjoying yourself, eating healthier, working harder, feeling sexier, you're actually happy with yourself just the way you are. You're doing true self-improvement. One path leads to suffering, and the other leads to bliss. One path is sensitive to the body's needs, while the other path ignores the body and pushes harder to reach its destined goal. Only you will know which path you're truly on, and nobody can tell you otherwise. Being 100% free from striving is not necessarily something to strive for. Life is not about being completely desireless, sitting in a cave for 50 years, chanting how perfect everything is. That may be an amazing experience, yet I believe the juiciest life contains many more interactions with people, deep, loving relationships that move the soul, and a spiritual connection that flows through it all. Life is bigger than we can imagine it is. And when we simply start allowing the effortless flow of consciousness to guide the journey, everything works out in the most amazing way. Allowing the effortless flow of consciousness to guide the journey, everything works out in the most amazing way. Striving and intense efforting has its divine reason for being here, as does everything. It creates a sensation of life direction, motivation, and purpose. This direction is ego-driven and illusionary, yet it does get the job done at adding fertilizer to the soul, to stir up the nutrients, to get your karma moving a little. However, be very careful with getting too hooked into the striving zone. The mental fog that comes out of it can quickly cover up the divine, perfect consciousness before we realize what happened. Years can sail by, and before you know it, you're addicted like everyone else to trying to become someone or something better, than the divine being you already are. Now, to start finding true freedom from striving with letting go of attachment to your ideas about who you are, this means letting go of attachment to your desires, goals, agendas, projections, and in its place, you are simply trusting the divine flow of each new moment. This does not mean you stop taking care of yourself, exercising, eating right, and doing those things that you love doing. No, this is about letting go of attachment to the idea that there is a better future for you out there. Instead, you simply become the pure witness to that part who still wants to push the river and struggle to get upstream. You're the witness of all that. You're not doing it. Remember that the mind can have the tendency to play some pretty serious games with you. It can make you think that your efforts are for something good and positive, yet the basic energy at the foundation is of struggle, lack, and survival. That's tricky. When there is no love, joy, or peace at the core of our actions, thriving cannot be found there. In striving mode, we don't have time to enjoy anything, let alone be this perfect self-realized God being we already are. When we're striving, we do not have time to stop and enjoy relaxing into our infinite presence. It's all about getting things done and making sure you make ends meet. It's pretty interesting, isn't it, how as civilization through the eons, how we have been conditioned and programmed, literally, to stay away from the gods that we are at all costs. The state of thriving is very magical, and the reward for trusting its power can make us feel that we are unstoppable. When we have completely relinquished striving on all levels, we will find out what our true purpose is in life and see that we were always being led by a natural loving support from this universe. We will naturally follow the flow of daily inspired actions with joy, grace, and ease, and not question the experiences given to us. A life without striving is one where we are pleasantly surprised to see how intimately we are guided through each day and are constantly led back inside to rediscover the experience of supreme bliss. An outwardly successful life will naturally find its way to you, as you no longer are creating the lacking consciousness by perpetually striving to get somewhere better than here now. When we wake up every morning in thriving mode, we will realize that there is no need for any efforting to attain anything in the outer world. We start our day with the deep realization that everything is impermanent. And one day, we'll all be taken away. This is not the attitude which bears fruit to that negative mind that says life is not worth living at all. Quite the contrary. There is a deep state of appreciation and liberation from being attached to this life that naturally occurs. By becoming free from the constant efforting habit, there arises a feeling of coming home to yourself. You begin arriving at the sweetest place in your heart. You could call home. Transferring over into the joyous land of thriving is easy once you realize that there is an absolute state of bliss awaiting you within. It's an infinite realm on our inner world. And if we're not used to driving inside ourselves or diving inside ourselves, we may think that that is nothing worthwhile to explore. Quite the opposite is true. Immense love, joy, and happiness are within us right now. And when we find it, we won't ever want to do anything that brings us less happiness than it. So yes, you can abandon all your chores and tedious projects and set sail toward your heart's greatest dream tonight. You can also have fun doing exactly what you did with your life yesterday, yet approach it from a place of gratitude, love, and appreciation, as if it was your last day on the job. The choice ultimately is ours about what we most need on our inner world to feel complete, alive, and in alignment with our life's purpose. So, how to take that first big step out of striving and into thriving? One of the big ignition keys to start our thriving engines tonight is to remember that fear is simply excitement in disguise. We can flip upside down that one thing we were afraid of doing the past 10 years into one of the most exhilarating experiences of our lives, merely by shifting our perspective and approach. That fear will transform into joy. Once we see that grabbing the bull by the horn leads us into the most exotic, thrilling, adventurous dream life, we might suddenly drop our computer, toss our cell phone out the window, and grab the first bull we see down the street. I invite you to ask yourselves, what is that bull in your life that you are afraid to ride? What would happen if you decided to jump on its back, stay on it, as it tried to buck you off, rode it down the road until it tired out, and then wandered off to enjoy the sunset? The scariest thing we are afraid to do is the wildest ride of our lives. Hold your horses now, because we're just getting started in discovering what thriving is really about. It is good to understand that thriving includes the element of taking risks. It also happens from that natural state of grounded aliveness, which is always peacefully inside the core of you. The secret to this awesome balance is being in touch with your life purpose and mission here. When we're aligned with our soul's mission, we can see, feel, and taste the highest vision of ourself. And at that point, it's easy to see our dream life is on its way, manifesting effortlessly for us. Then in each moment of this life, we make time to bask in the warmth of our inner sun, while appreciating this wild river of life flowing rapidly through us. The golden key to transforming into our greatest possible self is being open to having amazing fun, living each moment in the unknown. We may feel challenged with stepping out of our comfort zone of living for the future, striving to become someone better, attain something bigger, or push ourselves to do something entirely new. Yet, see for yourself how it will feel to live the next 30 years of your life striving for your dream, or rather simply being the creative, loving, thriving soul you are now. This is not about giving up any of your goals, fantasies, or potential dream life scenarios at all. It's about shifting your approach as if you were a spiritual master who is already deeply wise, understanding, patient. Now, the secret to deep transformation in our lives is in learning the art of letting go. It's easy to let go of who you think you are when you know that you were not the same person you were last year, yesterday, or even 5 minutes ago. People have epiphanies, insights, revelations, new ideas all the time. That's the creative mark of the soul. There's always that original reason why we wanted to come to Earth in the first place. And it wasn't just about sex, drugs, and money. We came here for a much more spiritual experience, one that is available to us in anything and everything that we do. When we downshift out of strive mode, we will see that we can make the time and space to transform. We can let go of ourselves, and it just might be our ticket to nirvana. Any thoughts that say you're just not good enough are nasty little gremlins in disguise, making us think we need to be someone else. Trying to become someone new today only creates the habit of trying to become someone tomorrow, and this can last until we hit the grave. Do not become a pattern of another habitual life lost in perpetual struggle and suffering. Don't do it. Let go of trying to become anybody special and start realizing the divine God source already within you right now. Truth is, when we finally let go of trying to become someone other than who we really already are, we start to relax into our divine nature and instantly arrive in the land of complete self-acceptance. What a relief. All this trying to become someone other than what we are is just proclaiming to this universe that we are not okay with who or what we are now. No wonder this universe offers a package of struggle and suffering to manifest our dreams in return. Any hidden judgments that we have about ourselves always creates unhealthy stress in the body, which will block our ability to attract our desired outcomes with effortless ease. Now, this interconnection to Source is the divine plan, and it will unveil what our highest life purpose is truly about. Who we think we are is just another idea to acknowledge and move beyond. We are all infinite beings, a sparkling ball of pure light. As being pure consciousness itself, the concepts that we become attached to create the most unfulfilling programs that we will have to unlearn someday. Striving is all about this addiction to specific ideas about who we think we want to become. If we let all of these go and trust that something much greater is guiding this boat home, we will discover the magic within us, and thriving will take over. So relax into who and what you are right now. The divine is always here now. We already have what it takes to truly enjoy our lives and this breath that is breathing us right now. We don't need X, Y, or Z so that we can smile, laugh, and be in love. All it takes is shifting our focus inward towards our divine true nature. When we refocus our attention inside and are meditating on our connection to this universal divine essence, we can experience the greatest spiritual source of energy, creativity, and love right now. As we get into the habit of accepting ourselves for where, what, when, why, and who we are, the easier our lives will be and the more joy we will have for simply being alive. If and when we want to imagine what this life is like, to be free from striving and totally trusting life's natural flow, go out into nature and meditate on the life of a tree. Just sit and be with this amazing species and imagine how it grew this far so slowly from a small seed, all with the help of the sun, earth, air, water, and Mother Nature. You'll realize that the tree didn't struggle to be the smallest, middle-sized, or largest tree in the forest. It simply lets nature do its magic through it and continuously stretched its roots and limbs out into its fullest tree potential. We are just like this tree. We can let nature take its course through us and grow into a mature divine being and reach our fullest potential in this life. When we're free from striving to attain anything, even spiritual enlightenment, we will relax and reach a higher level of spiritual maturity. We will naturally feel successful because this life feels so open, relaxed, connected, and alive. This freedom from striving simply occurs through us when we are fully vulnerable and naked before God, ready to receive each experience life presents to us. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And take an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Feelings are your manifesting fuel. Negative emotions will choke your energy and steer your manifesting vehicle, your body-mind, away from driving towards your dream life and get lost in the back streets of Dumpster City. Of course, it's important to feel all of your feelings. Shame, the anger, the sadness, and fear are necessary to enrich the human experience of life. Just be aware of which negative feeling which you tend to stay stuck in, and watch the troubled story that comes with it, which resurfaces like a broken record. Honor and learn from your demons, yet don't make them the master of you. Focus instead on the high vibe fuel that's made of appreciation for others and gratitude for everything that is. Fuel your day with these two sacred ingredients, and you'll arrive in Joyville in a matter of minutes. Use all the positive fuel you can, because there is an infinite supply. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you.